Hello there, I've been agonising for quite a while now over what my next favourite film will be. There are only 3 spots left, so I had to choose wisely. And so for my 92nd pick, I've chosen The Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer and starring Chaz Palminteri, Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Pollak, Stephen Baldwin and Kevin Spacey. This film I've seen many times. Original and daring, about 5 ex-cons who go on a job, they do another job, there's a criminal mastermind, everything is not as it appears, there's a little love story in there as well with one of the characters who's dating a lawyer, but really what separates this out from all other thrillers is one man, John Ottman. Not only did he edit the film, he also composed the score. And when you consider the fact that he edited it on film, not digitally, and then adding that musical score which was so distinctive and so wholesome, I would say, and definitely added so much atmosphere and pace to the thing. Yes, he was heavily influenced by Jerry Goldsmith. You can hear this in cues where he references things such as Basic Instinct in the main titles, Outland. There's a cue, I think it's called The Elevator, which was quite similar to Payback Time. But anyway, Ottman, and this is going to be a hot take on this, Ottman got an Academy Award for editing Bohemian Rhapsody, and a lot of people didn't like that. Now, I personally didn't mind his work on the film, and you can see in a lot of places where he was very much trying to inject a little pace into the thing. Maybe there were a few more cuts than need to be, but I don't really think that his Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody was really for that movie. I genuinely think it's overdue recognition both for editing and scoring The Usual Suspects. So I'm glad he's got an Academy Award to show for his hard work. And there are consolation prizes. I mean, Martin Scorsese won Best Director for The Departed, and I highly doubt most people would consider that his best work, considering the likes of Goodfellas, Raging Bull, Mean Streets. What made The Usual Suspects for me such an exceptional picture was its screenplay by Christopher McQuarrie. And indeed, it did invite some comparisons with Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, which was made around about the same time. Actor Peter Green is actually in both movies. But this sat on the shelf for a year waiting for a distributor, so it was kind of made around the same time. So when it came out, winning the original screenplay Oscar for McQuarrie a year after Tarantino did for Pulp Fiction, and it stands on its own terms. It's a brilliant movie. It's so exceptionally well made, and it holds up 30 years later. And that classic, and there's so many great characters. You've got Stephen Baldwin's crazy McManus, Benicio del Toro, who's almost incomprehensible but always funny, Kevin Pollak, who's witty, and then Gabriel Byrne, who I think really is the heart and soul of the picture, and then of course Spacey himself, who got Best Supporting Actor for the film, in a year where there were some pretty exceptional actors. Some of those weren't even nominated, namely Patrick McGoohan in Braveheart. And so The Usual Suspects is my 92nd favourite film. There are only 2 places remaining. I opted to choose just 94 favourite films because the number 94 is quite significant to me in reference to the year 1994, which is when I moved to Wales with my dad, and the first chapter of my life really began. The part that came before was just prologue, really, and it's when I got everything together in my life, my reading, my writing, education, and even though I've had some setbacks over the years, and I'm still managing a lot of difficulties, cinema, like this, which is the kind of film they don't make anymore because originality is out the window. It's all reboots, sequels, spin-offs, prequels. So it's refreshing to kind of dive back into something like The Usual Suspects, and what a classic it is. And it's a favourite film.